Hey, it's Andrew with Melrose Mold Solutions, and I have a really crazy story to tell you about an inspection I did about 3 years ago. So I had a lawyer call me and he said, my client is in the hospital and needs an inspection in his house. There was a whole situation going on with the apartment there. So then I get out to the apartment, I do a full inspection. Right when I walk through the door, this massive smell hits me. And it's really musty, humid. I'm like, I couldn't be in here for 15 minutes, let alone living here. So sure enough, walk through, find a ton of different issues. The HVAC system was located right next to, in a closet, right next to the master bedroom. I open that up and it's basically raining in there. It's dark, black, gooey. I mean, the thing was filthy. The system was rocked. And the whole story with this, without getting, too detailed with certain kind of, confidential information. The lawyer's client was in the hospital and his lung had collapsed. This guy's only 26 years old, and that was pretty severe. So I said, hey, it makes full sense. The place tested really, really high. It was obviously not livable, in my opinion, and got out there. Test results came back, really high. And next thing I hear is that the client of his was now going on a ventilator. 26 years old going on a ventilator. I'm like, this is wild. So what's the whole story? He went to the hospital. The hospital said that he had a certain type of V word. And that certain type of word, basically he needed to go in quarantine at his own home for 7 days. That's what the hospital told him to do. They didn't ask any additional questions. 26 years old. They put him on an oxygen tank and said, stay in your house for 7 days. That house I just described. He was laying in the master bed for most of the hours of the day, right next to that closet. And if I have a photo of it, maybe, we'll flash it up here. I think I have one. It was wild. You wouldn't believe how bad it was back then. And then I heard he had to go on a ventilator, which was crazy to me. 26 years old, after his lung had collapsed, now he's going on a ventilator. This was a pretty serious situation. So I wanted to go above and beyond just being an inspector. So I called the mother, got in touch, obviously got clearance for all of this. And she was really thankful to hear about the state of the home that her son was living in. It was really, really bad. A lot of negligence from the landlords. And that's why a lawyer had to get involved. The lawyer calls me, hires me on. Everything, definitely shows that it was a significant mold issue that this guy was living in, breathing over 3,000 gallons of air a day. And most of those hours was in that apartment that he was being quarantined in. So I'll get in touch with the mom, educate her on everything. I posted some of this on my Instagram story years ago, but this is the full one. So then he goes on a ventilator. He's there for about a week and the lawyer's working on his side. I'm talking with the mom, I'm praying, and finally said, I want to come to the hospital and see him. And 26 years old, laying there, the machine is breathing for him with a collapsed lung. And I say a prayer over him. I ask God to bring life back to him. He's too young for all this. And with that prayer, about 3 or 4 days later, I got the best text from his mom saying he is off the ventilator and he is good to go. That was really, really profound. It showed the power of God 100%. Caring about our health, and also showed the power of an environment impacting someone's health so radically. It also showed me how ignorant allopathic medicine and the hospital was being there. I know we were in a kind of high awareness time of certain viruses that were going around at the time, but there should be so many more questions being asked. Why 26 years old, the state of lifestyle and environment should be included in all of that, because if we had known, it would have played a much bigger part. And I believe that 7-day quarantine is what made it significantly worse. He should have known as well, but I think it was kind of the analogy that you've heard. I don't know why you'd ever want to boil a frog, but the analogy of if you want to boil a frog in water, you just take it 1 degree up until finally it hits boiling point. And the frog never jumps out because it was that slow kind of decay there. And so in this case, that's what happens in homes. If you do not know a situation that's happening in your home and it's just slowly going on, the situation can get significantly worse. And so I like to build awareness and education. That's what this channel's for, and all my stuff on Instagram and everything I'm doing is to build awareness so that we're proactive, we're aware, so that the things that are an issue, things come up, don't become a catastrophic one or one that we're unaware of. So the more we're proactively maintaining and proactively looking, these situations don't have to get that bad. This was a success story. As much pain and confusion and hardship that happened to this guy and to his family, this is one of the success stories and definitely one of the most wild ones I was a part of.